Hey, it's Paul Masetta. Decided to do something a little bit more spontaneous today, a little bit more random. If you've been watching any of my videos as of late, you've been hearing me talk a lot about this book, The Street Persuasion Playbook, 101 Ways to Gain Compliance from Others in Real Life, over 30,000 words, over 200 pages. What I decided to do is just randomly select a technique from the book and go over it with you and show you how it can benefit you. So, today's lesson is number 61, and it is the first tactic in the NLP section. So, in case you don't know, the book is divided into 5 sections: verbal language, or what you say when you talk to people; nonverbal language, or how you communicate using body language when you communicate with people; overcoming no, so what to do when people object, what to do when people resist; good old-fashioned NLP. It works, it's effective, it's the same stuff Tony Robbins has been using for the past 40 years to get people from where they are to world class at whatever they do; and then some psychology, which will help you understand how the human mind works and what we've learned over thousands of years about how the human mind will respond to certain things. So today's tactic, like I said, is an NLP tactic. It's actually one of my favorite hypnotic language patterns. And so number 61 is how to shift a person's mind flow in an instant. And let me tell you why this is valuable. There are going to be times where you need to persuade somebody. And in order for you to persuade them, in order for them to say yes, you need them to be focused or thinking about a particular thing. But a lot of times you're going to deal with people that just simply are not there. They're not focusing on that. Their mind is in another place, or even worse, they're focusing on the complete opposite. And so that's building their resistance. It's making it harder and harder and harder. And so sometimes it's better to just interrupt that and shift the person's frame of mind to where you want it, as opposed to just letting them go on and on and on, because the longer they go on, the more difficult it becomes to persuade them. Now listen, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't listen to the other person or that you should cut them off. But what you should do is elegantly shift them from wherever they are to where you need them to be. And you can do this using a powerful hypnotic language pattern called the redefine pattern. Here are a couple of situations where this will be helpful to you. Number 1, you find yourself in an endless argument with somebody and they don't want to back down. We've all been there. Person's thick-headed, they're stubborn, you can't get through to them. They just keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. You got to switch it up. You can't keep saying the same thing. You can't keep doing the same thing because it's not working. Second one is when you encounter an invalid or a stalling objection. So a lot of times you might be trying to persuade somebody about something, but they're misinterpreting what you're saying. And so what they're objecting to really doesn't have any relevance. So you kind of have to shift their paradigm of the whole thing so that they do understand what's going on. Second thing is that a lot of times you're going to deal with people that are going to give you stalling objections. They're going to give you objections that aren't real because they don't want to tell you what the real objection is. And so the way that you can kind of isolate that is by using the redefine pattern. Another one is when the subject or the other person is talking about something that's not remotely related to the task at hand, to what you're conversing with them about. Or when you want a person, you want to go out on a date with a person, you want to ask them out, but they're not paying attention or they're talking about something else, right? So you use the redefine pattern. And as you could see, just from that short list of 4 things, how powerful this could be in your life, how effective this could be. So here it is. It's real simple. The real issue here is not A, it's B, and that means C. So the A variable in the redefine pattern represents whatever it is that they're fixated on. The B pattern is the new thing that you want to introduce, and the C part of it, the C variable, is the new thing or the new result that's going to happen because they've realized this. All right, so let me give you an example. I was in the fitness industry for a long time, sold a lot of gym memberships. And one of the biggest objections that I would get is, I don't have the time to work out. And so once you begin to drill down and ask questions, you identify certain things about the person. So for example, let's say I'm questioning somebody, I'm going over a needs analysis with them, a wants analysis, figuring out why they even came into the club. And so they tell me, well, I have to be in work every day at 8 o'clock. I work till 4. I got to be on the bus by 6:30. I got to be back home by 5:30 in order to pick up my kids. So I just don't have the time to work out. Well, after talking to that person for a little while and based on my experience of helping out other people, what I realize is that that person is not seeing that they have a window of opportunity to work out during their lunch hour. A lot of people think you got to spend 5 hours in the gym working out. You don't have to do that. That's a waste of time. You can get a super effective weight training, cardio, aerobic, anaerobic workout in within 30 minutes if you do it the right way. You don't need to take 10-minute breaks. You can take a 30-second to a 1-minute rest between each set of reps that you do, and you can get an effective workout in 30 minutes with still enough time to take a shower and grab a bite to eat and be back at your desk within an hour. So, if I was trying to persuade somebody to buy a gym membership, my answer to them would be this. The issue here is not that you don't have the time, but that you haven't realized that there's a window of time within your lunch hour that you can use. And because of that, you can actually get your workout done every single day, 5 days a week with no problem. Let me show you what that would look like. And I explain it to them. So the issue in that situation is that the person either A, isn't seeing an opportunity that's there, or they're overestimating how much time it takes to work out, right? So they're not identifying the lunch hour, or they're thinking that a workout takes over an hour to do. And so all I need to show them is that the real issue isn't that they don't have the time, it's that they're not identifying a certain time slot that they could be using. And there are a million different ways you could use this. Like a lot of times when I talk to people about language patterns, they get nervous and think that they're going to sound robotic. But the truth is, you don't have to say the issue here is all the time. You don't have to use that. You could say, look, the reality of this situation is that it's not this, it's this. Or you could say, look, it's not the fact that you don't have the time. It's the fact that you haven't identified that you have the time, right? There are a million different ways you could do it. It doesn't always have to be the issue at hand is A and that means B. As long as you can communicate to the person that whatever it is that they're fixated on is either being misjudged or isn't valid, and then introduce something that is valid and then show them how that new thing that you introduce is going to help them or is going to provide a better result for them, that's the language pattern. It's real simple, it's real easy to use, and people that are good at communicating do it organically by nature anyway. So this is not something that we're pulling out of the sky. It's not a magic trick or anything like that. It's just a way of shifting a person's perspective on a particular topic. And again, think about how powerful that could be in a career situation, in a business situation, in a social setting, in a dating setting, right? Super powerful. Like I said, this book is the holy grail when it comes to persuasion. You could pick up a digital copy of it for less than what you're spending at Starbucks on coffee in the next 3 days. Or I'll send you a free copy of the sample edition, which includes 10 techniques. I'll put a link in the description. All you got to do is click it and I'll send the sample edition over to you at no cost. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and make sure you subscribe and click the notification button or the bell so that you get notified when I upload more videos like this. And last but not least, if you like videos like this where I kind of go off the cuff and just pull stuff out and show you how it can help you, let me know.